Across the river from downtown Cincinnati, in Covington, Kentucky's main Strauss, and from the beautiful village sight, sound, and stage, it's Fret Buzz. Featuring Mike Reeder. William Gilmore Weber. And the lovely Baramoon as the barista. Ladies and gentlemen, your host, Mike Reeder.
Hello and welcome to Fret Buzz, episode 2. Today we have 4 great artists with us I'm so excited to hear today. We have Chuck Cleaver, Rob McNerlin, Dusty Bryant, and Kelly Richie. We're also going to, like we always do, enjoy some cool guitars from Mike's Music and some wonderful coffee from Branch Hill Coffee Company.
Yeah, you mean the Chapayas?
The
that we got?
Chapayas.
Branch Hill was kind enough to bring us. It's I think it's from the Chapayas region of Mexico. It's a smooth, bold flavor. Does that make sense? Smooth, bold?
I say that.
Smooth and bold.
I've been called that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're enjoying this.
What do you think, Kelly? You told me you were a coffee expert.
Oh, it's really good.
It is good.
Yeah, it is. It's bold. It's got a punch, but doesn't hurt.
It's weird, you know, people describe guitar tone in almost the same way that we're talking about this lovely coffee here.
This sounds like it has a tube screamer on it. Just
Mine needs to be ground a little more.
Mine's a big muff.
My battery's out.
So you may notice that Mara looks a little different today than she usually looks. And you really let yourself go over the week.
Yeah, well, you know, it happens. I'm at the Golden Corral a lot, so.
I don't even know how you could achieve that digression there in a month. I mean, come on.
Practice. It's a skill like anything else.
Oh, yeah? Well, our barista didn't make it today. So instead, we have William, and we didn't have a dress for him, so he...
If I would have known, we would have gotten
If
a
I would
tent.
have known, I would have got him a dress. Kelly offered to be our barista.
yeah, but I didn't wear a dress either. I don't think
You're more than
I haven't
halfway
had
there,
a dress since junior high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Last time we had somebody in their prom dress show up. So.
Oh,
Yeah.
yikes.
She stayed up all night.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody here was at prom.
I went to senior prom in junior high, and that was enough.
Yeah,
Well,
I
we'll
feel-
say
I
you,
feel
you
like
all
the-
look lovely, by the
I
way.
felt
Thank
like
you.
the other guests because I didn't go to any of my proms. So.
Oh, yeah.
Don't worry, I didn't either. Nobody
No,
has.
I didn't either.
I did, but I don't remember any of it. So.
I know that our prom theme was Stairway to Heaven. How original.
I took my date in my father's '69 Cadillac, and later on, I accidentally burned that Cadillac up. I drove it back this creek where we used to hang out, and
In the creek?
In the dark.
it died. We spent the night there, and it wouldn't start. And it would finally, when it started up, it backfired. And we were like looking under the hood, and then eventually the inside of the car was on fire.
And from the door handle was a bloody hook.
No, it fried right there.
Wow.
And the most ironic thing is my father was there helping me work on it the next morning, and he never said one negative thing about it. He was a strange guy.
Good man.
If I left my shoes in front of the door, he would have killed me. But I burned up his car, and he never complained one time.
I did go to the prom, and
Oh, yeah?
our theme was "What a long, strange trip it's been."
Oh, yeah?
And, it still
Ours is born to
I'm
run.
surprised they let you do that, actually. What year was that, Dusty?
This was sometime in the late '90s,
Okay.
1994,
All right.
Hamilton High School.
Oh, yeah.
Even wrote a song, recorded it on my Tascam 4-track cassette tape player, and I had the DJ play it at the prom.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Was it a slow jam? Or was
Hamiltucky.
It was a slow jam.
it slow jam? Okay. Ladies' choice.
Slow
And I stand there by myself.
What school did you go to? What high school did you go to?
I went to Tate's Creek in Lexington, Kentucky.
Oh, right.
At least I went some. I did graduate. They needed me to. So I was.
They were going for a perfect record to get the whole class.
Well,
to like-
I would take my guitar and amp to school almost every day. That's why I eventually got an acoustic so I could stay in school. But I'd take my guitar and amp and I'd stand on my amplifier in front of the freak hall. But yeah, it was a good time.
What about you, Chuck? What school did you go to?
Clinton Massey High School up in Clinton County.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What were you like in high school?
Pretty much like I am now.
Same success.
I oddly have not changed a whole lot. You know?
So
I
when
didn't
did the
talk
Ask
a whole
Pony
lot.
start? What year was that?
Oh God.
That was after Gomez.
1988. We
And-
lasted 16 years.
Yeah.
So
And when did you graduate?
1977. I
You look
think I'm the
young.
old man on the totem pole here.
Really, man?
I'm right behind you.
That's the beauty of having a beard like that, you know.
Oh yeah,
If you
yeah.
could comb it up.
What about you, Rob? Where are you from?
Right outside of Ashland, Kentucky, a little place called Westwood. Fairview High School.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you didn't go to prom, you told us, but did you have a
No.
band when you were in high school?
Yeah, I had kind of a basement band. We didn't have a garage, so it had to be a basement band. One of the coolest things I remember, we were talking about, prom and graduation and all that. At graduation rehearsals, I bought a Silvertone amp-in case model off one of my classmates.
Oh,
So
sweet.
I remember
Cool.
that way more than I do the graduation ceremony.
I had one of those as well. I loved it.
Did
Oh yeah, I had a
suffer
big
for a
arch
craft.
top harmony that the strings were about that high.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like a dobro. I mean, it was just like
Yeah.
you about
I had a Hondo too, where the fretboard was coming off, at like 2 weeks after it was bought, and took it to the music store, and they're like, "Oh, we have to send this back." It was $100 guitar. It was gone for like 2 months. Like they sent it, like I thought they sent it back to China or whatever. It's like
My dad worked at Sears, and so I got a Sears guitar, but that was post Silvertones, and it was a Les Paul copy, and I went through 3 of them in 3 months. They didn't, instead of sending them back, they just gave me another
right,
one.
yeah,
It
yeah.
fell apart, and I got one of the little 3-watt amps. I think the first time I hit a power chord, it bounced across the floor.
Well, I still have my first guitar, and it was an electric, and obviously it's made by T-Sco, but to show you what time period it was, on the peg head it says Aquarius. And I got it for Christmas, and they told me Christmas morning, said, now we ordered a case for it. And I thought, great. So one day when they picked me up, I was only, I think, 10 years old, 9 years old, something like
Man.
that. So they picked me up from school and said, your case is in. We're going to go pick your case up. And there was this wholesale place that sold everything. And so I'm sitting in the car with Dad, and my brother was probably there because he was in school too. And Mom goes in to get the case, and when she comes out, she's got a little cardboard box about this big. And, I'm thinking of a hard shell guitar case. Well, it was a gig bag. It was just a little vinyl gig bag.
that's hilarious.
And she walks out, and I'm going, Dad, a guitar case won't fit in there.
is that for the headstock and the rest of it comes later? It's like
Man, I think at 10 I was probably eating crayons. And you were already playing guitar.
I'm different from y'all too. I didn't even start playing guitar until I was 20. So
Oh,
that's when they told me to stop playing.
yeah. Well, I wrote songs I wrote them for since I can remember, but I just never knew how to play anything.
so did they
And-
pour out of you once you had the skills? So you just like all these songs kept coming?
Yeah, well, I mean, I just kept all the melodies and all that stuff. I never write anything down, so it's all in my head. And I thought, well, I better learn how to play something because this stuff's driving me crazy. But like I was telling Bill a little bit ago, very first guitar I ever played, I tuned all the strings to the same note and just ran my finger up and down
It's a
the
beautiful
fretboard.
thing, though, isn't it?
That's smart.
Yeah, it sounded terrible, but I mean, it was fun, and stuff.
Yeah.
And,
That's why
and
it's
a
called
guy's
play.
like, a guy tuned it for me. He's like, you need to learn some chords, and he showed me a couple. And that's all I ever used.
Best sound
anyway.
I've ever had.
Yeah, I need
can't
3
duplicate
chords
it.
anyway.
I had a plastic harmony amp and a big muff, and I forget what guitar, but it's Ramon sound totally.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
Duh.
You're like 3 feet
guitar
from it, and this
and
little
a big
amp,
muff.
like barely hear it, but it was awesome.
I love little amps.
Buzz
man.
Yeah.
About 3 years after I got that Aquarius guitar, and it came with some little solid state 4-inch speaker amp, I asked for a better amp. So for Christmas, bless my mom and dad's heart, got up and had a Silverface Vibrolux Reverb. Oh, man. And that was my main amp.
No
Still
kidding.
yet,
Yeah.
if I'm playing electric.
I think they
that's-
felt bad about the case thing.
Now will the
It
guitar
might
go
have
in here?
been. It might have been.
I found a one of those Pete Townsend style Fender tellies
Oh, like a Schecter telly?
in a dumpster.
Oh, those are, you know what? I want one of those tellies right now.
Oh,
Those
man.
things are cool. I love those 80s
I was
tellies.
traveling with the band at the time, and I accidentally left it at the guitar player's house when, after the tour. And I came back down for the next tour, and it was propping up his garage door. See, you've done good with that.
I have a friend who's a guitar dealer, a crazy guitar dealer, and another customer guy bought a really expensive Les Paul, a 59 Burst, and he sent this guy to get it. And the customer told me when he went to this guy's house, he was sitting in his pool playing his guitar.
Oh, man.
Was it plugged in?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't plugged in.
He was
said
wireless.
Sitting on a float and playing his super expensive Burst.
Oh, man. Rose.
You have to know this guy. Yeah. So anyway, speaking of guitars, everyone's picked a guitar that they're going to play. Which one did you pick, Chuck?
The
Telly?
Telecaster.
This is a 1951 Telecaster, and it's special because in 1951 is when they transitioned from the Nocaster to the Telecaster. And you guys probably all know this, but initially a Telecaster was called a Broadcaster, and Gretsch didn't really sue Fender, but he called him up and said, we have drums called Broadcasters, so would you rename them? And what Leo did was he cut off the Broadcaster logo, and it just said Fender. And that's what a Nocaster is, the ones that just say Fender.
So was it shaped like a Strat before that? Look,
No, it's the exact same guitar, basically.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
shape-wise, there's some minor differences in finish and stuff. But so the first ones are Broadcasters. The second ones are Nocasters for about a year and a half, I think. They were just Fender on the headstock, and then Telecaster. And this is the very first one. Most people think the first year for Tellys is 52, but it's actually late 51, which is what this guitar is.
When did Esquires come into the scene?
Esquires were around early on. The very first ones were pine-bodied. Yeah, I mean, I think he probably made them about the same time.
It was just a cheaper version of a. or less
Exactly. It was a
expensive.
one pickup.
What did Jimmy Page play that had all the paisley?
It was a Telly.
Yeah,
It was a
His was a
Telly?
59 or 60.
Okay.
His is a slab board neck,
Okay,
rosewood
okay.
neck. Which those guitars are hard to find. For some reason, Telecasters from 61 to 64, there's not a lot of them. And especially custom colored ones, there's very few.
Oh, people hang on to them, you think, or just not many made?
I don't know, for whatever reason, I guess the Strats were super popular or something.
Do you know what Roy Buchanan played? He's my
He
favorite.
played a 50s Telly like this
Okay,
one.
okay.
Yeah, what a great guy and great player he was.
My favorite.
Yeah. So, what did you pick, Rob? Which guitar?
Les Paul.
This guitar. This is one of the guitars I consider to be mine. It's a 1958 Les Paul Gold Top Standard. It's the very last version of a Gold Top. And right after this, they go to Sunburst. I mean, this actually maybe could be one of the last 58s that were gold. It's got, I forgot the number, but it's late for a Gold Top. And it's really played. It's probably the dirtiest guitar. When I bought it, it was the dirtiest guitar I ever bought. I mean, it was almost black, and I don't know if you can see it, but even under the knobs, it's still black. And the guy had it in a barn. It was
Propping up the garage.
I was a problem at the garage door.
I think I might know him.
It was super dirty, and my repair guy Jeff cleaned it for God knows how long. And I just love this guitar. I had it refretted, but with the same size frets. You probably couldn't even tell, but
I had an old Gold Top. It was beautiful, but it was too heavy.
yeah,
I
that was not
couldn't-
too bad.
I
mean,
could not.
It's probably 7.8 or something like
Really?
that. It's on the light side.
No,
Did you
deluxe
think it was
is-
heavy
No,
when
I
you played
think
it?
so.
Deluxes were made, what, 71 or something, or 72?
Deluxe Les Pauls, first year was 69.
Oh, 60. Well, I think mine was a 70. That was like the first real guitar I had. And those little mini humbuckers, like, oh, those are cool. Take out the bridge one, put in a DeMars. You know?
Everyone did that
yeah.
to those guitars.
Yep.
Until they saw that Townsend didn't. And
Well, he
then
had
they
his
were
in the
gonna-
middle.
Yeah, well, he did. He had a PAF, which is what these pickups are. Townsend put one in the middle, and then he kept his two minis.
That's why I did mine, was because Townsend had a humbucker in it.
Yeah.
I was going to tape like a 5 or 4.
That's what I
on
guess
it.
that was you have yours
Yeah.
numbered.
Right, yeah.
So it's weird, this is the second show I've done, and I try to think about what guitars people might like. And I brought a guitar for you, which I was
very
glad
happy.
you were happy to have.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Do I get to take it home?
Unfortunately not. Kelly picked the 64 Strat, which is what I planned on, actually. And you don't know, because sometimes people want to play something different or try something they usually don't try.
No.
You're pretty set in your ways at this point.
Yep.
Stick to what you know.
Yeah. So, Dusty, that left you with this fabulous Gretsch guitar.
It is a fabulous guitar.
Yeah.
Fell in love right away.
Did you really?
I did.
Okay, well, that worked out because it was the only one left. So this is a duo jet, and Gretsch had weird designations. This has the same designation as a black duo jet. And what's strange about it is they made a fire jet, which is the same guitar but with red finish.
So they
So-
just named them after the.
So the black ones are called duo jets, and also the green ones are called duo jets. We just call them green duo jets. But then the red one is called a fire jet. But they're all the exact same guitar.
No. Were those made in Cincinnati? I never.
Well, these were made in New York,
Okay.
Brooklyn, New York. I think in 1972, Gretsch was bought out, and it became a Cincinnati company.
Oh, okay. That's me.
You can correct me. Rob knows everything. So.
No. Believe me,
Feel
I don't-
free to
I
correct
don't
me if
know.
I get my
I
names
just
wrong.
remember the gentleman that had all the Gretsch parts when they were out of business for
Duke.
a while. Yeah, Duke. Yes,
Yeah.
I bought many of parts from him. Yeah.
Yeah, he had his
Yeah.
own model. He lived across the river, and I actually got to go to his house.
Oh, cool.
Before he passed away, I got to meet him.
Yeah.
And he had his, was it called the Duke? What was his guitar called?
I forget. I don't.
He had basically,
See,
which
I
was a
don't know.
Corvette, a solid body Corvette model.
I have
Did
one
you
of
used
those.
to play one of those, or was it you?
No, it wasn't
I
me.
have one.
Yeah.
Single pickup though.
Yeah, he had his
Awesome.
own model. It was white. It was like a mini Penguin guitar. If you've ever seen a Gretsch
Wow.
Penguin.
Cool.
Wow.
And he had a brand new one under his bed. In his, well, it wasn't under his bed, but it was in his living room. It was like the first one that was made for him.
Yeah, he was a great guy.
Super cool dude. Yeah.
What year did you say that one was?
This is a 57, and
57.
see these inlays? These are called hump inlays. Late 56, 57, they go to these hump inlays. It's also this is the same year that George Harrison played. So hump inlays are very desirable. George Harrison's was a black duojet, and his had a Bigsby, which was probably added. Most of these don't have Bigsbys originally, and people added the Bigsby. So yeah, and these are actually kind of like semi-hollow. They have chambers in them. It's not like a Les Paul, but it was their competition with that guitar basically.
It's good to hide some stuff in there.
Yeah. I actually have a smuggler's telly right now.
Yeah. Smugglers.
Yeah, there's something
What
called
year was that?
there's something called a smuggler's telly, which is late '67 into '69s,
Oh God.
where they have these chambers under the pick guard. They're called smuggler's telly. They actually reissued them. And that Telecaster, it sounds great. It's a great sounding guitar.
It's like a different sound than a thin line.
It is really different. Yeah, I don't know if they were experimenting with thin lines, and that had some reason why they did that or not. Do you know, Rob?
I don't know.
Yeah, but it's a cool guitar.
I love the thin lines. That is. But, yeah.
All right, so since everybody's picked their guitar, we're gonna jam out. So Chuck has the 51 Telly we were talking about earlier, and he's gonna play us a song. Hopefully it'll stay in tune. I just put strings on these guitars, so it's rock and roll.
I
right?
won't be able to tell.
Hendrix was rarely in tune, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All those
That's,
live Hendrix records.
that's why we have whammy bars.
That's
Guitar
right.
players.
So what tune you can do for us, Chuck?
I was talking to Bill about it earlier, and I didn't know whether to play something sad or something happy or goofy. Or Kelly said no happy.
No happy.
It's a song that Ass Ponies used to play some, and Wussy kind of revived it a little bit. I've got a talent for picking band names.
You picked
it
both of
wasn't-
those names?
Oh yeah.
At least it wasn't ass wussy.
Yeah. Wussy just looks good on a T-shirt. People get beaten up for wearing it, but it looks good. But anyway, it's a song called "Ring a Ding Ding, I'm Rotten Inside," and, and it's a. I have to tell the story. When I was a little kid, when I was around kindergarten age or so, our town barber passed away. It was rumored that he killed himself, which, when you're where I'm from, you can kind of see why. But anyway, not exactly a ringing endorsement. But so we had to go a couple towns over to get haircuts, and we went to Pleasant Plain, Ohio. And the barber there had a caged monkey in the shop. It was one of the like organ grinder capuchin, I think they're called, monkeys and stuff. And when kids would get their haircut, he'd take the monkey out of a cage and sit it on your lap. And the adults assumed that the kids liked this, but the monkey was really temperamental, and so he'd snap at you. And when you're getting your flat top or your burr or whatever the hell you were getting, you'd be, dodging the monkey, and the barber'd be yelling at you like, "Sit still!" And you wanted to cuss and say, "Well, it's this damn monkey," but you're a little kid, so you don't say anything. But the worst part about the monkey is it had a leaky bottom, and it would leave a little drop of monkey poo on you. And so
We're gonna have that coffee later, right?
Yeah, that's the finale of the show. The monkey poo coffee.
yeah.
I was thinking that was your next band name.
So that's kind of what this song's about. And
I tell you what, if you would have asked
should've
me to
went
guess,
last.
I would have never guessed that.
We don't even need to hear the song.
With an introduction like that, you can do anything.
anyway, but like I said, it's been around a long time, and
Whatever happened to the monkey?
we don't. We got a new barber, and
Have you been to see him?
Now the monkey's cutting hair. The barber died. Put a little grease in that? It's not grease. I know it
Had
is.
an aversion to barbers ever since that little monkey.
I was harassed by a monkey that lived down the street from me too when I was a kid.
I've always wanted a monkey. Now I don't.
There was a
Oh,
guy
they're
up the
assholes.
street.
nobody wants a monkey.
Yeah, a guy up the street
Really?
from us had a monkey.
They throw their feces.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
my sister
Wow.
bought a house in Connecticut, and there was some big TV star monkey that lived there. and the owner,
That's a famous monkey
yeah,
there.
And it's like,
That's-
the owner would open up the back door and would go through all the trees and time to eat. The monkey comes
What
back.
era?
So was
was
there
this?
like little monkey Oscars and stuff on the
Right,
show?
exactly. Little pictures of him, standing
Monkey
next
of
to,
the Year, Monkey of the Year award.
The only two I can think of are like J. Fred Muggs and Cheetah from Tarzan. So,
Remember that
Might
Clint
be one
Eastwood
of 'em.
movie? with
oh
the-
yeah, the
Oh,
orangutan. Yeah.
That was a orangutan.
No, I don't
BJ
know.
and the
They're
bear.
probably not jerks. They look nice.
Oh yeah.
Well, but
BJ
see, there's
and the Bear.
actually
There
a
you go.
difference because a monkey has a tail and apes don't have tails. So technically, it's not
Yeah.
a monkey.
So actually, we're from apes, right? A planet where apes evolved from man.
The Ark is pretty close by.
Yeah, right.
They'll prove you wrong. So anyway,
Yeah, ring a ding ding.
hey,
I'm
ring a ding. What?
ring a ding ding. I'm rotten inside.
All right.
Barber cut my hair, cut it to the quick. Hippies are hanging round, and you know they make me sick. Oh yeah, you know they make me sick. So please, cut it to the quick. Monkey in a cage, the barber loves him so he lets him out. He lets the monkey go. Oh no. He lets the monkey go because he loves him so. Sitting in a barber shop, monkey on my knee, pooped on my good corduroys, gonna kill that monkey, yes sirree, kill that monkey dead. I'm gonna smash that monkey's head. headed to the queen because the barber loves him, so he's gonna let that monkey go. I usually there's cuss words in that, but I edited them out because you told me to keep it.
Oh, I
PG.
appreciate that.
Anyway, there you go.
That was awesome.
Well, thank you.
I really enjoyed it.
Remember that WLW thing we did? Like the first sentence I said.
Oh yeah, we were on the radio.
I always make sure I never like cuss or even around like people I just meet.
First word, he got dumped.
Well, yeah, we did a
Monkey poo on me.
we did a. I think it was. I don't remember what it was, Ass Ponies or Wussy, but did a live on Wave thing one time, and they couldn't use any of it because I cussed. My dad was like growing up with cussing Popeye or something. That's just second nature.
Did he really let him go? The monkey.
Oh no, he would.
I know he let him go in your lap. But
Yeah, no.
Literally.
I don't really know. We only went there for about a month or so, and after that, I have no idea.
Did you
I'm-
tell
I'm
your
hoping
dad,
that
"I don't wanna
somebody just
go
twirled
to the
around by
monkey
tail
place
and get into
anymore"?
a wall, But
I think there should be a documentary made about that.
Yeah, right.
Trying to get to the
Really?
bottom of what
no,
happened.
I mean whatever. I don't like.
Maybe that's where
support
BJ and the
monkey
Bear,
abuse,
Barber
but
John and the Bear.
It was just a little.
yes, we are not pro monkey abuse.
It was just
We
it
support
was an
all
awful little monkey.
monkeys.
I mean, it just really was. It did,
yeah.
But I couldn't blame him. I mean, who the hell wants to sit on some sweaty fat kid's lap while they're getting a flat top? I mean,
stuck in a
I
cage.
wouldn't.
I
want
can
that.
understand it beats
In a
being in a
barber
cage.
I toured with somebody that did that.
I'd have pooped on my lap. I mean, it'd been like, you little hillbilly.
Nothing in my tin cup.
So Chuck, what do you have going on right now? Tell me about what you. what you're
Well,
working
we've
on.
not. Wussy has been around. We're coming up on our 20th year, believe it or not, and we have never really taken much of a break. So my back has been giving me a lot of trouble, and so our drummer and his wife just had another baby, and so we're not going to really be able to travel a whole lot for
You guys
a
did
little
a tour
while.
last year, though, didn't you? Or
Yeah,
the
we
other one?
did, but we had to cancel part of it because of my back. It was just so.
But you're doing yoga now.
I'm doing some, yeah. I need to do more. Like we were talking before, and I don't know. I'm an old man, and so you hear yoga and you think, oh, that show on PBS.
I
where
just
the
think
woman
yoga
went-
pants anymore.
But
I just pictured Chuck in yoga
it's
pants.
amazing. And our bass player's wife is a yoga instructor, and so I'm getting into it a little more. But and I got a solo record coming out.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
This in a couple months, actually, less than a couple months.
What label was it?
Shake It. It's on
Okay,
Shake
Shake
It, same as Wussy, and then me, Lisa, the other singer from Wussy, and guitarist, and Mark, our bass player, are going on a kind of a solo in the round type tour in
cool.
July and August.
So are you playing songs together or kind of each other's songs?
Together and separate. Mark put out a record on his own called under the title of Inert, and then Lisa put one out on her own under the title of The Magic Words.
So it's like the Kiss solo albums, then. I guess.
Yeah.
I saw Lisa perform, I think, at least some of that at Herzog when it first came out.
Oh yeah. So we just decided, very naturally, Joe's going to have to be, our drummer's going to have to be home for a while with two infants, Sure. So it's like, we'll just go out on a little thing in the summer.
And when's the album released again?
Sometime I should know the date, some middle of July sometime.
Do you have the artwork done?
Yeah. I'll get
want
somebody
people
that's
to
not a
visit?
Luddite to send it to you. I don't know how to do any of that stuff.
Yeah,
so,
get some kids to do it for you.
Yeah. But yeah, we what is it? Wussy.something.org maybe.
You don't have your own private thing for your...
Oh no.
Okay.
Find
Not on
me.
the interweb?
Not much.
The
No.
dark web.
Oh, back to that monkey theme again.
I just store my credit card information on that. So
Shake It will have the shakeit.com. I think will have it, and the Wussy does have a website, and I do most of my stuff through Facebook. you
Yeah.
know,
We're Facebook buddies.
Yeah.
You're always... He's a picker like me, so he's got the coolest stuff. Do you
Oh,
still have
yeah.
a shop?
I don't have a shop. I sell stuff online, and I'm set up at 2 or 3 different malls, antique malls. I work at an antique mall too. So.
How many pieces do you have? Do you know?
Oh God, thousands.
Yeah.
Well, I saw that.
He's got
Yeah.
all kinds of cool ephemera and weird, crazy stuff. One time I had what was it, an arm or something that you sent me a message? I had like an old arm from like turn of the century.
Prosthetic
arm.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got all kinds of stuff like
I
that.
don't sit around sniffing it or nothing. That stuff
He and Sherry, my drummer, would get along.
They would
She's
get
got
along
a-
great.
She's got a museum for a house.
Absolutely.
of
That's kind of
strange
people
things.
come to our place. They're just like, man,
Yeah.
you know.
I've been to his yard sales. He has the best yard sales.
I do have good yard sales.
I thought you were going to say you had an old monkey arm.
I have a lot of stuff and no monkey arms. So we're back with Rob.
Hey,
What do you have there? Do you know?
I
know
have
you know.
a gold top Les Paul.
Yes, you have the 58.
Yes,
Nice.
One of my favorite guitars.
a great guitar.
I've had a few guitars, and that is a dandy one.
Well, these guitars were picks of many of our heroes. So
Yeah.
you know.
And you just told all of us that you have picked a cowboy love song.
Yeah, well, sort of a love song.
I'm
Not a
gonna
love song about
a
cowboys. but-
sad cowboy song. There's some
So like the Eagles.
no.
I want to know the story on the nudie.
Oh, on the
That's
the
like the
nudie
first
jacket?
one I've been that close to.
Okay, well,
Yeah, me
actually,
too.
his Nudie actually passed away in the 80s, I believe, but his daughter kept the name and owned the company and everything. But just about a year and a half, 2 years ago, they started making clothes again. And this was one of the first jackets they made.
We got to see the back. We have to see the back.
I don't know which camera.
Can you guys
Oh
get
my
that?
God!
Oh.
I hadn't seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So here's the story. So
Literally.
Mary Lynn, it's Jamie Nudie is his daughter, and Mary Lynn does all the embroidery work.
Yeah.
And so I was talking to Mary Lynn, and she was getting measurements, and we had designed this together. And I said, now this is going to, because I have several Manuel coats that he makes the same kind of stuff, great stuff. But I just wanted something with that Nudie label, and I said, now this is going to have the Nudie label in it. She goes, oh yeah. She said, actually we have old stock labels.
Oh, wow.
And then she looked at me and she goes, do you want the original one where the cowgirl was topless? Or do you want the one where the cowgirl
So
has a
it's
vest
Jesus on the back of the nudie.
that's exactly what I said. I said, well, we got Jesus on the back. I said, I'm going to
he's
leave
like-
it. I'm going to leave it up to you. So I actually got the topless one.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So
Good call. And
so thank you, Jamie and Mary Lynn.
this is just
I think
food on my
Jesus will
lap.
forgive you for that one. Yeah.
Tell us the story.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we don't have a monkey, but we actually have one of Mr. Hank Snow's
And if you cut its
toupees.
hair, it's gonna stay that way. It
Yeah.
won't grow back.
One of Hank Snow's toupees.
How did you get that?
Friend of mine ended up with a lot of stuff from his estate, and I was actually going to get some bullhorns that he used to have hanging in his office, and they'd put lights inside them, so they plugged them in and they glowed, in the dark.
Yeah.
But those had already been shipped to Texas,
Ah.
and so I was like, and I said, do you have any other Hank Snow? She goes, well, I got a big cowhide office chair, and I said, well, no, I'm kind of homeless, so I don't need an office chair. And then she looked at me and goes, I got a toupee. And I was like, now you're talking, And so about 2 weeks after I got the toupee, I used to play with a steel player named Caton Roberts that played for Hank for 31 years.
Oh, wow.
And we were getting ready to play a show in Decatur, Georgia, and I was just booking it and all that. And the guy that booked the show just died in the Wool Country music fan. And I told him over the phone about the toupee, and he says, man, can you bring that and display it at the show? And I'm like, I never thought about it, but I guess we could, So I had my uncle. He built this nice cabinet for it there, and a buddy of mine that paints race cars doctored it up.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
so
Look at
then
that.
the guy calls me back about the show, and he says, are you for sure bringing the toupee? And I said, yeah, we're bringing the toupee, So when the show posters came out, it was Rob McNerlin and his Beatnik Cowboys featuring Caton Roberts. Special added bonus, Hank Snow's toupee. And I got, of course, a copy of the poster. But a friend of mine, Marlon Brackett, that lives down in Atlanta, or he did at the time, he calls me and says, hey, I'm coming to your show. He said, but who's this band that's opening? Hank Snow's Toupee. And it's not an opening band. It's really Hank Snow's Toupee.
So did it have a guarantee?
And I thought that would be a great name for a band, though.
Yeah,
Toupee.
absolutely, Chuck.
So my,
You're the expert.
The next one.
Yeah. So, did you ever put it on? I have to know.
No.
Oh,
No,
man.
Hank was a tiny guy, and I mean I could use it because I'm really thin on top, but he was much smaller man.
You get your hair weave.
There
Got
you
all
go.
together.
Yeah,
So, Cowboy Love Song.
yeah. Here's a Cowboy Boot Heel. Years ago, back in 2000, 2001, sometime we recorded down at Johnny Cash's studio, and his son John Carter produced this record called Cowboy Boot Heel, and this is the title cut from that. Early morning, almost dawn. I saddled the pony I rode in on. You know I told you I must go as my cowboy boot heel taps out the rhythm of my soul. The sound of leather reins on the saddle horn. How I hate to leave my chorus on. Up in the mountains I see snow as my cowboy boot heel taps out the rhythm of my soul. Don't ask how long I'll be gone. I'm heading for the hills of the unknown. Just what I'll find there, I don't know. As my cowboy boot heel taps out the rhythm of my soul. I may find danger, I may find strangers dressed as angels unaware. May find grief, I may find peace with girls with raven hair. I'll trade these jewels for things I need. God will protect me as I sleep. My Indian blankets will keep me from the cold. As my cowboy boot heel taps out the rhythm of my soul. Has it been a week or a day? Is this the trail or have I lost my way? Up ahead I see your ghost as my cowboy boot heel taps out the rhythm of my soul. There are spirits all around. I lose my grip and fall to the ground. My pony's head is hanging low
Yeah.
Anybody got a Kleenex?
So who wrote that song?
That's mine.
Oh, that was awesome.
Well, thank you.
Very nice.
Really enjoyed that. Where can we hear that besides Fret Buzz?
It's on all the usual places.
Uh-huh.
It's probably on YouTube,
Do you have it-
Spotify, Amazon.
Is it on an
place.
album?
Yeah, there's a title cut of that record. That's the title cut,
Oh,
Cowboy Booty. We're real proud of that record. We was actually recording it at night, and Johnny Cash was working on one of those American recordings with Rick Rubin during the day in the studio. So it was cool just to go in and it's like, I asked John Carter, where did your dad sit today? And he's like, he was right there, and I'm like, well, that's where I'm going to sit then,
Yeah.
And so it was a lot of fun. And Ramblin' Jack Elliott came and sang on one song with us on it.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, it was good fun.
Was it like a combo thing, or like did you have a lot of like pedal steel? Stuff like
Just me and two other guys had an upright bass player and a guy playing a Telecaster. We figured if it was in Johnny Cash territory, you better just have three pieces.
Yeah.
But the Tele player, a great player named Dave Prince, he played, had a palm pedal and did a lot of pedal steel stuff.
So Chuck was saying he's been kind of slow on touring, but you are the hardest working man.
I'm always.
I'm telling
on the
you,
road.
he is always on the road.
Yeah, I'm always.
We're also Facebook buddies,
Yeah.
and
I just
man,
got back
I tell
from
you
Texas.
what,
Just
nobody
got
works
back from
harder than
Texas.
you.
Oh, yeah.
So when you're on tour,
Hard to hit a moving target.
Oh my
so
God!
you got a suitcase. Is this in the other hand when you're?
Sometimes there's actually some shows that I get requests to bring the toupee, but the toupee has to get a cut, so they have to pay more for the toupee. You
Yeah.
know.
There's certain
Actually,
things on the deli tray.
I'm working on having a whole like a country music sideshow. I've got a couple other pieces that I won't talk about right now.
Oh, that's neat.
But I've got lines on a couple of other really bizarre pieces that you.
You know
would
what we
really
should do
I'll
is-
tell you when we get off the air. I'll tell you about.
We should
it.
have a pickers show, and you bring in some weird stuff. and
Oh yeah,
I'll bring
that
some
would
weird
be
stuff.
fun.
I've got a skull carved out of a human knee bone, so
Oh wow!
I don't know if anybody can top that, but
Well,
That's hard.
I mentioned Caton Roberts, and he played with Hank Snow for I think 31 years. He's a steel player, pedalless steel. Had an old thing. So Caton passed away. I guess maybe coming up on 2 years ago, and I was visiting his daughter and son-in-law, and we were sitting there. This has been maybe 6-8 months ago, and just out of the blue, his daughter says, "You've got Hank Snow's toupee. Would you like Daddy's teeth?"
I think you may have topped you, man.
And I said, I kind of just laughed. But the next night, I was spending the night with them. I stay with them a lot. They put up with me. On my guitar case, and there was a boot box set in the living room, little plastic container with Caton Roberts' teeth.
And you can make like a country western Frankenstein.
When we get off the air, let me tell you some of the other stuff I got some lines on that I don't have yet, and we'll talk. Yeah, Hillbilly Frankenstein. I can see a movie.
You could just get like a stick, and have the toupee and then some teeth sitting there. Slowly build it.
Taking donations.
there was actually a comic book in the late 50s or early 60s called Frontier Frankenstein, and,
Well,
and it was about Frankenstein, but
In
it
the
was
Old West.
it was in the old
It was
West.
like
I
Daniel
need to
Boone
look
kind
for
of
that.
Frankenstein.
What's that?
It was like a Daniel Boone version of
Yeah,
Frankenstein.
actually, sort
That's
of.
great.
Yeah, I have a
By
couple
Jim
issues.
Bowie. That's the guys from the Alamo.
Yeah.
I'll say, I bet you'd make a hair or two more with that thing on stage.
Growing gray on my lap.
So, we were supposed to talk about the guitars. What did you think about the Telly? I know. What did you think?
I enjoyed it. I thought
Yeah.
the tone was amazing. I mean, it was just like, wow, this is. You just feel like, you're playing a piece of history, and
Yeah.
like I said, it's the oldest guitar I've ever played.
Oh, cool.
I'm not an equipment. I'm probably the least knowledgeable human being about equipment here. It's just as long as it works, I'll play it.
Yeah.
And you were talking about. I normally play this and whatever, and I'm like, God, I don't even know that stuff. I just play, whatever comes out, whatever hollering I
That's
do.
okay.
just,
As long as it sounds good.
Yeah, well, debatable, but.
No, that sounds good.
So, what did you think about the Les Paul?
I love it.
Oh, it
Yeah.
sounded
Yeah.
fantastic.
So, Rob usually plays acoustic, very
Yeah.
clean.
Yeah.
And you'll notice the difference between the Telly and the Princeton and the Les Paul and the Princeton. Instantly, it was distorted.
Yeah.
That's the pickups. That's
Yeah.
the PAFs. So Rob had a little Neil Young action
Yeah,
going
man,
on.
I
That was
love
cool.
Neil Young. Yeah, that's a great guitar.
So just curiosity, just so everyone knows, the amp is exactly the same as Chuck had it. So that was just the difference in guitars.
Yeah.
So there we go. So Mara made it. Everyone, yeah, yeah.
Do we dare
Bringing
ask?
coffee. Lots of it.
So do you want to tell us what you were doing that made you so late or not?
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
And that means
Were you playing yesterday, actually?
Oh, yeah, no, I was practicing and I decided to bring my friend Bourbon along and
Ah,
yeah, we made a late
was
night
that Jim or
tonight.
Jack? That's your friend.
Neither. I like to party with the girls.
so what coffee do you have for us?
So I have for you today, it's a Mexican blend from Chiapas. It is a single origin. It's very rich. This is from Brancho Coffee Company in Loveland, Ohio, and it is super delish.
Well, it's really good. We're probably on our like 5th cup by now.
Well, I'll take this. And
Yeah, she
I'll
needs
see
some,
my-
actually.
Yeah, here.
Yeah,
Here,
absolutely.
Let me hook you up.
Thank you.
You go to your corner.
Oh,
That makes a difference.
that could have been a real cup.
Yeah, this was on crooked and it's spilling, and I'm sorry.
That's
I have
okay.
No idea.
It's not over the mic.
It's just on the. It's just
Yeah.
Is it on the mic
on the
stand?
56.
Let me get a towel. I don't know.
Mara. Surprisingly, Kelly Richie has picked the Stratocaster. Shocking. This is really rare, Kelly, because it's a 64 with a matching headstock with coffee on it.
That's right.
Yes.
With caffeine on
Yeah.
it.
They did very few.
It's Mexican
here
coffee.
you go.
That's not a Mexican.
Thank you,
Strat.
dear.
So sorry.
That's okay.
I don't know how that lid got on there.
That was my fault, the lid, actually. We don't do well without you here.
Steve, my apologies. Next time I'll be here to put the lids on correctly.
Anyway, they made very few with matching headstocks. That one is Candy Apple Red, which is a custom color even without a matching headstock. But with a matching headstock, it's extremely rare.
I've got my 60, I have a 63 neck, 65 body, and 64 pickups.
Right.
That's like me.
So this feels like mine, except mine's been played so much.
Yeah.
It's more round here.
And if you go to the Village YouTube page, which is where Fretbuzz is, you'll see
Yeah.
a rig rundown I did of Kelly's gear and her guitar, which is super cool guitar
Yeah.
and sounds amazing. What song are you going to do for us, Kel?
Well, I'm kind of toying between a bunch of them, but I think I'll do Leaving It All Behind,
Okay.
maybe. From
Great video, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say because this is one of the ones that we recorded here.
This isn't a sad song, right? You didn't want sad songs. Or is that
No,
the reason
this
you
is
didn't-
I'm out of here, but you know it's gonna be a good day. On the
We
vi-
ended up doing this video and 3 more.
we did right. We did 3 music videos, and then we did a compilation for a sizzle reel.
Yeah, and
for
the rig rundown, so I guess we
Oh,
did
that's
5.
right. That's right. And how long did you shoot for that rig rundown? To keep
How big
it-
is the rig?
You know what? The rig rundown, we didn't shoot that long, but it was a editing
Yeah,
nightmare.
yeah,
But, you know, you're like me. You know what you want.
yeah.
I try to give it to
Yeah,
you.
I'd appreciate it. And you did on all of the stuff, all 3 songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, we worked well together.
Yeah.
It was we did
So
the
it's
3.
all cut live while you're.
Well, yeah, I have the Spear Shakers. It's a duo, a power duo. Sherry McGee's on drums.
Amazing drummer.
She's a rock
you
star.
got-
I mean,
Well, I've
see
seen a
her.
bit, like a couple
Yeah.
videos of the blonde hair.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She's
She's
amazing.
a show and
yeah,
by
she is.
herself.
I know, like so we have the Spear Shakers, which is a power duo, and I'll be on stage, people will be clapping, I'll think, oh yeah, and I'll think, no, Sherry back there doing something. She's great. I mean, she's
Well, okay, I'm going to confess. When I was doing the editing, I was like, oh, man. Sherry is so great. I want to like put Sherry on here more. I mean, not that you're not great. Don't get me wrong.
No,
but, you know, so it was
Yeah.
tough to choose between
you
you
know,
two guys.
and I agree. Finding a place that does video and recording is rare.
Yeah.
And so I just heard about this. We were the first project you did.
The first
weren't we?
big
yeah.
project we
Okay.
did, yeah.
And it was great. So anybody looking to do something like
Oh,
that?
thank
No,
you.
I'm
Thank you,
serious
Kelly.
because
I used to
I'm
do that.
picky.
Nobody showed.
All right, so
Let me real quick. I saw some pictures you played with Freak Bass, Chris Sherman. How'd that hook up?
we didn't really know each other. We met each other. He'd be going on stage at a festival. I'd be coming off. We'd done a couple of shows at the same time. And of course, and we got together and played and it just clicked.
Wow.
Of course, that means funky.
Yeah.
That's international funky
I could
symbol.
just,
Yeah.
I didn't hear any music, but I mean, I'm sure that really.
Oh, that's
clicked.
cool.
We did a record, and
Okay.
we toured for a couple of years together. I ended up working with Toby Donahue, who was Bootsy's main engineer.
Okay.
And Toby produced the last live record Freak and Bam and I did at the Blue Wisp. Actually, we recorded it right before they closed. And so Toby and Rick and I toured together for the last 18 months in support of Shakedown Soul, and Freak Bass and I did my record Sweet Spirit. And so this is a song that I'm getting ready to do off of Sweet Spirit.
okay.
And so, yeah, it was really cool working with Freak. I mean, he's a monster.
Oh,
Yeah, I've
You
seen
know.
that guy for like
Yeah.
years and years.
And
yeah,
he's kind of
awesome.
like Sherry. When we'd be on stage, people are like, I don't know who to look at. And it's like,
Yeah.
that is a good problem,
Yeah,
because
right.
I'm not scared, and the better my band is, the harder I'm going to play. And so, they really got the best
That's
out of me.
Yeah.
Leaving it all behind. Trashy, but it's Sunday morning.
Yeah. That's awesome. Very brave, to bust into a lead without a rhythm.
Yeah, and and it's like, okay.
Well, it sounded
That's what they call
killer.
it, rock and roll.
It sounded great. I think.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it sounded really good. What shows you got coming up?
Sherry and I are doing a little bit of touring. We do some festivals, and I have no desire to live on the road ever again, but I don't mind doing, spot touring because I do life coaching. I teach guitar lessons. I've got an online classroom. I'm a True Fire guitar instructor. I've got a channel there.
What's the link? What's it called?
You can Google True Fire, and my channel is Cutting Edge, Kelly Richie's Cutting Edge. Okay. But I've got a couple of series that they've shot on me. One's called Blues Grit, and the other's called Focus on Blues Rock Power Trio.
Cool.
And yeah,
That's neat.
And I've taught for almost as long as I've played, and I love to teach. I had a great teacher.
Yeah.
And so
That's where you got your Strat, right?
Yeah. Well, that's where I got my old 65 Super Reverb.
Oh,
when
I
Eddie
always get that
died,
wrong.
when Eddie died, he said, "I want Kelly to have that amp because she never had a good amp." It's like, okay, and he was right. I've played a long time, and I've had people somebody give me a 62 SG. Somebody give me a Les Paul, which I do still have, a deluxe cherry, and it's beautiful. And then my old Strat, because I've had so many fret jobs on it, and there's so little rosewood left. I had a dear friend of mine who had taken lessons from me. He bought a 63 reissue, and he never learned how to play it. And when he got engaged, he gave his wife-to-be a ring and came over and gave me his guitar.
I've never had anybody give me a guitar.
I had to give you a hard time on that.
Me?
So, tell us what's going on. Like, what are you going to do? what do you got going on?
now?
Yeah.
What can you do?
Well, Sherry and I are really just honing things in and playing and having fun and seeing where it takes us.
Cool.
Not where we want to take it. We just want to play and have fun. And, I've got all the gigs I want to do. And
we can find them on your website.
absolutely, kellyricci.com, everything. And when you go to kellyricci.com, there's a side for the music. And there's a side for healing arts because I do life coaching and everything. And you'll find my guitar teaching side on the music side, of course. But so online, I teach online, I coach online, hold workshops live. I've been doing different writing workshops throughout the country.
Get out and see the Spear Shakers, guys. They're amazing.
We have fun. We really have fun.
So, Dusty, can't wait to hear you play that thing. I've been listening to you tune up and play it to the Princeton Reverb, and I was telling Kelly that I think it's my favorite combination between the two guitars.
Those things
That's
always
sweet.
sound good,
It
though.
does.
Yeah.
I immediately fell in love with it as soon as I picked it up without even plugging it in.
Oh, yeah.
It just
That's
feels
cool.
like feels
Guitar.
natural. It feels like a real one.
So it is a real one. So I know you're doing a solo thing for how long now?
It's been going on several years.
Okay.
Just kind of, but not really doing anything, not pushing forward. I've always sort of been a side person in everybody else's band. So
Yeah.
And he was at the studio one time. He did piano. Oh my God, he's just awesome. Like
Yeah.
it was like a rolling type, piano thing. I was
So what did you play in Bigot, Iowa?
I played keys.
Okay.
Yeah, I played keyboard.
Yeah. Like I said, we did quite a few shows with you guys back in my Mud Pies band years ago. Top Cats. I remember some of those shows you guys being
Very first
great.
show we
Mr.
played
Kane,
was at Top. He was.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
Bob Burns, both rest in peace.
Yeah.
Really good guys, mentors. I was a young kid in high school, and they were showing me the ropes of
Yeah.
how the music world works. So
Yeah. Well, anyway.
But you're still in it.
still trying.
Okay.
Yeah. You have picked the 57 Duojet in Cadillac Green.
My favorite
And
color.
not much more to say, man. It's a cool guitar. It's all original. I got it from the original owner
Wow.
who loved that guitar. It took me a long time to pursue that guitar.
So
And I've always wanted a green one like that. And actually, that's like the third one I tried to buy, and it never worked out on the other two. And I've been chasing a guitar like that for a long time. And finally found that one. The original owner wrote me a big long letter about when he bought it when he was a kid, and he took it in service. And it's a great story. He just got old and couldn't play it. And so I think it's a fabulous guitar, and it has a Cowboy case, which is a
Oh, neat,
fancy
yeah.
Gretsch case.
Wow.
Yeah.
That would go great with the Cowboy amp too. Yeah.
So what's the song about you're going to play us, Dusty?
So, well, many years ago, I moved to Chicago and lived there for a little while, a couple years.
Sorry about that.
And the day I moved to an apartment that was sight unseen, and just happened to be on top of a guitar shop.
Oh, really? Chicago
Break it.
Music Exchange?
I was called the Musicians Network,
Oh, okay. I don't know that one.
5603 North Clark Street. It's not there anymore, but just a mom and pop one shop. Really, really great guy, Kurt Eisenberg, rest in peace, was the owner and proprietor of that store. So this music shop was my basement. So
Wow.
I got to spend a lot of time around a lot of good guitars.
You just try to break in from your floor into the ceiling.
That's only you.
It was just down the back steps and the back door. There I was. But I had moved up there with an ex-girlfriend, and we split up, and I was single in Chicago, kind of wandering around, lost, and decided to write a song to this fictitious person. Like, if I ever did meet somebody that I really wanted to spend some time with, what would I say to him? And this song's called I'd Like to Know You.
Okay.
So it's kind of where it comes from.
Right on.
Not directed at anyone specifically, but
Maybe a guitar that was in this story.
I'm gonna take it to heart though, like you're talking about.
Yeah, this is actually about William. We know it is.
Place my hand, on your cheek. Tell me what made you cry. I will try to make you smile. Who's in there with you? Should I close my eyes with you? Who's in there with you? Should I close my eyes with you? Place my hand on your breast. Tell me what makes you smile. I will take care of the rest. Who's in there with you? Should I close my eyes with you? Who's in there with you?
Nice.
Really nice. So, where do we hear that? That's,
Well, I have not actually recorded this song,
really?
but there is a live version of it on the EP that I have out right now.
Okay.
About 11 minutes long. It's with a full
Wow.
band, you know.
Worth it.
That's a
What
good
is, like,
amount of
2
time.
songs?
That's reasonable. You could,
Short and sweet.
You know.
yeah, that's right.
You throw in a little guitar solo, a little keyboard solo, and next thing you know, you got 11 minutes worth of.
So, apparently you're multi-instrumentalist, because that's amazing keyboardist, amazing guitarist.
Yeah, play bass too.
Yeah.
Amazing bass.
Show us all up here.
Well, I play punk rock bass.
We're just gonna do a show with you, like switching chairs with different instruments.
So you two did some work together, you said?
Yeah, one of his bands came in and recorded, and then his father came in, wrote a birthday song for his mom, and it was like his father's really influenced by the Beach Boys, and
Yeah,
Dusty
absolutely.
laid down.
That was a song called Pretty Pretty Polly-K.
Yeah,
which is
Pretty
my
Pretty
mother's
Polly-K.
name. So.
Oh.
And it was played on
That's sweet.
WLW, wasn't it?
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
got his father. His interesting story. He used to write a lot of music for Shadow Shay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and little jingles and like
Novelty
funny
records
stories.
and
Yeah.
I think
Wow.
his biggest, the coolest song when I was growing up that I thought was hilarious was called McLove Story. And it's about a guy going through a McDonald's drive-through.
Oh, that's great.
And it's
That's hilarious.
It's a great song.
And they had a CD of just all dog songs. You know,
Yeah.
I guess they wrote about dogs a lot
They
or something
did.
like that. It was all about.
It was called Cats and Dogs and Christmas Bells, and they did it as a fundraiser for the SPCA.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's neat.
So yeah,
So is your whole family musically inclined?
You
or-
know, Troy
my brother.
Bryant.
My brother is a drummer. He's on tour.
He's the one that did your floors.
Your brother is Crazy Troy?
Yep.
I didn't know
He
that.
would appreciate that.
I know he would. I know him pretty well. Oh, wow. I had no idea. You guys
Get
are
out of
brothers.
here.
That's so weird. I knew both you guys. Now I see the resemblance. I look at you.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, he's vertical.
well, that's true. That's different.
But it was fun many years ago. I was like, we're both musicians. He's sort of in this direction with the punk and metal, and I'm kind of going towards like Americana, blues, jammy kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
I got to jump in his life and see what's going on. So we started a band called 86th, which was a hardcore punk rock band. And then Troy and I both went on to play with a very legendary punk band called Gangrene.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
So I got to get in his head a little bit, which is a very scary place.
Yes. Troy did these floors,
Yeah, to
actually.
swim out.
Troy's the one who installed these wood floors for
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
He's a sweet person.
Oh, he's awesome.
Genuine
Yeah.
heart,
He's just pretending to be weird. It's all pretend.
He's just living every day like it's his last.
Yeah. What did you think about the guitar? We all loved
you
it.
know what? I think this might be the nicest guitar. This is definitely the nicest guitar I've ever played. No doubt about it.
Well, that's cool. You sounded magical.
man.
Everyone sounded
And it's
great.
my favorite color. So.
That's cool.
I got sunglasses on. What is it?
What color is your Cadillac? I mentioned Cadillac, and I know that you just got one. It's black. Oh, it's too bad it's not green like that. Then you'd have to buy the guitar.
That's right.
What
Rob
year-
has got many guitars.
Well, you could
now.
trade
What
in the
year's your
Cadillac for the
Cadillac?
guitar, but
Well, we have reached the end of this fabulous episode. Enjoyed everyone's music. It was really good. Make sure that you go out and you support all the artists. You go to their Facebook pages. You go to all their social media pages. Go see some gigs. Support local music. Support Fret Buzz.
support local coffees,
Yes.
especially Branch Hill.
Branch Hill Coffee Company provides us with this coffee and helps support the show, so make sure you support them. And Mike's Music sponsors the show and gives us these guitars. And this guitar got left out. This was the one that was rejected. It is a 1959 Rickenbacker 350. And we appreciate everyone for all the support. Thank you for joining us in Fret Buzz.
Yay!
Thank you for having us.
Cheers.
Sitting in a barber shop, monkey on my knee. Pooped on my good corduroys, gonna kill that monkey, yes sirree. Kill that monkey dead. I'm gonna smash that monkey's head. Up in the mountains, I see snow as my cowboy bluegill taps out the rhythm of my soul.
Hey, hey, the clouds are gonna roll. Thunder, it's a cold hard rain.